Alright, let's get to it. The gut hook. And we're having some lunch for dinner. This is the IPA from Maine Beer Co. Some good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. I've actually had a few of theirs. I've had their breakfast, their lunch, and there was one more. Obviously, I live in Washington State, so these aren't readily available to me. I've had to do things to get them. But I haven't had their dinner yet. I really want to try it. But I've had breakfast, lunch, and one other one, and they were all phenomenal. So, cheers. I guess that was a little bit ass backwards, but we're using peach and cognac. Alright. So this is, of course, from, oh shit. Is there even an A&E anywhere on here? Oh, there we go. I was like, dude, he forgot to put his brand on there. So it's from A&E. This is in the Kaizen base. Right there. So this will be my first full Kaizen soap. Of course, I already had a sample. And this stuff smells pretty good. I was honestly hoping for more. I think it smells good. But I don't think it's very complex. I feel like it's like ripe peaches. And then it kind of just has like the Asian plum pear DNA. Yeah, it's nice. It's definitely not going anywhere. It's not. I'm not looking to get rid of it. I was just expecting a little bit more, but shit happens, you know? Sometimes we get overhyped. I got some loaded up into the Lancaster bowl. And we're also going to be using the Lancaster brush. So we got that soaking in some distilled water. I'll just wring that out for you guys. You can see there. It only has one patch of like gel tips, like right here. The rest of it's not gel, like real gel. It clumps together, but it's not real gel. Gel tips. I also got the Timeless Bronze with the scalloped cap, barber pole handle. As you can see, it's that massive standard bar. And I got a third use Polsilver Blade in it. Very handsome razor. I don't see them used as often as I used to. But let's get with it. So this will be my second use in totality of the new Kaizen soap base. The best soap base the world has ever seen. Oh, man. So, hey, sorry if you guys can hear my fan, but it is hot as shit, man. I still haven't got my new AC up with this fucking haunted house. It's like one project after another. Scent strength is kind of through the roof, like usual with Peter's stuff. I'd say it's probably like a 7 out of 10, which is perfectly okay with me. So this is where we're at with just the water that was in the brush. So we're gonna add some more. I don't have a nerdy squirt bottle, so I just kind of dump some in. I wish there was a better way to kind of show it to you, but I don't want it to kind of spill all over the floor. But there's just a little, just enough to kind of cover the bottom of the bowl there. No funny business going on. I know on my first impression of Kaizen, I think I had the original like moisture that was in my brush, and I added one water addition, and it felt pretty damn dialed in to me. And a lot of people were like, oh no, this is the thirstiest soap. I mean, you just can't drown this. And I guess I didn't really push it any further, but it looked dialed in to me with just one water addition. You know what I mean? And so I suppose I could have pushed it further. And in all honesty, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm looking at that sheen, and I'm kind of looking at that soft peak, and I'm thinking that looks good to shave with just one water addition. But since people told me it can't be drowned, it's the most thirstiest, fucking blah blah blah, we'll go ahead and add a second addition of water. And man, I hope to God this doesn't collapse because I'm gonna look like an asshole. But you know, it looked good. It looked good with just that one water addition. And you know what? If people want to shave with a little bit more dense, you know, I don't want to say like underhydrated, but less hydrated than you might like, it doesn't mean that they're doing it wrong. That's just the way that they like doing it. And if they're getting good shaves, then they ain't doing it wrong. So, I don't know. I'm seeing a lot more bubbles than I did in that first one. I don't really like seeing bubbles. I like it to be kind of like one solid cloud. No bubbles. And I'm really trying to incorporate it. I'm taking longer than normal to kind of make this lather because I don't like seeing those bubbles. It kind of makes it look like it's overhydrated. And I don't get triggered. Those are just the facts, you know. So, alright, we definitely got gobs and gobs of lather, so that's good. And there's still some bubbles, but it's not as bubbly as before. And we still got some pretty good looking peaks there. So, I'm just going to do that. I'm not going to add a third addition just to prove a point. I would not agree this is like the thirstiest soap ever. I would say it can take some water, but it doesn't need it. One thing I'll say is if you load heavy, obviously you're gonna need to add water to it heavy. If you load light, you probably aren't gonna have to spend all day adding water to it. I know that seems obvious, but I don't think everybody's keeping that in mind. Wow, I really like the feel of this. One thing I will say, I don't remember which brush I used last time, but the lather looks a little bit better this go around. Or at least, you know, if memory serves me correctly. Lord knows. When you drink every shave, sometimes things don't, you don't remember them quite the way that they happened every time. And I'll admit that if I'm wrong. Let's get a little bit more out of the bowl. Always a pleasure to use this Lancaster brush, man. Just my favorite knot. Alright, got a good lather. Didn't take too much work. Here we go, first pass. So the scent on this one, I would say it's like sweet, ripe peaches. Is that all there is? No. It does have the kind of warmth and the warmth and kind of brandy sweetness that comes, with cognac. It's boozy, but it's not very boozy. To be honest, it's kind of very slightly boozy. It has a warmth to it, kind of like the Asian plum and the Asian pear. And it's probably because of that tobacco note that Peter kind of, I feel like, it's his favorite note. It's something kind of like the backbone, his maker's mark. There's something familiar about it, you know what I mean? To me, that what I'm getting is like that Asian plum, Asian pear DNA. Now, I could be wrong, but it's almost like there's a similarity. There's some sort of sweet fruit, and then there's some sort of like warmth in it. You know what I mean? And then in this one, I don't know why I'm like moving on to the against the grain pass. And then in this one, I can actually detect, at least I think I'm detecting some kind of like white florals. Not the musky kind. Kind of like the kind of florals that just kind of like dance on top. You know what I mean? They're not kind of deep and earthy like rose can get, but they're just the kind of light florals that stay on top of a fragrance. I like to call them white florals because I don't know, in my mind, you kind of think of white, bright, light. So I like to call them white florals, but I'm not necessarily sure that's true. So, yeah, the scent is good. I like it. Kind of like I like Asian plum, Asian pear. I like it. I think they're winners. I don't know. I think it's the label. The label is so fucking badass. Let me just show this again. The label is so fucking badass that I think it sets a standard it can't possibly reach. Like, I look at that artwork and I'm like, oh, this is going to be the best fucking soap. This is going to be the best. And I think I just got overhyped. You know what I mean? Alright. Still got plenty of good looking lather. Like I said, there's some bubbles in it. I mean, could I have worked it? Yeah, I was already approaching the 10-minute mark. And honestly, it's not that big a deal to me. I get it. Like, I could have busted out the my KitchenAid and I could have got it there. But I just don't think it's necessary because I know for a fact that would have shaved with just that original, that first water edition. I know for a fact it would have shaved. Which to me is a good thing because that means it's easy to lather. Like, contrary to what everybody's saying about it's so, you gotta add just gobs of water. I don't find that to be true. And I think that's a good thing, sort of, because if you don't add gobs of water, you're gonna get a shaveable soap. And if you do add gobs of water, you're gonna get a shaveable soap. And so it's adjustable to your liking, which I find ultimately is better than it's only super thirsty. So, Kaizen's definitely some good shit. I still can't jump out the window and say that it's like leaps and bounds better than the original base, but it's fucking good. Is it slightly better? Maybe. I just can't say that definitively. I don't know. This is only my second use with it. It's thick, it's creamy. I can feel that weight on my face. Obviously, I think it's a little bit more hydrated than I would like. I think if I would have stuck with that original water edition, it would have felt more dense than it does now. It feels like it lost a little bit of density with that second water edition. But as far as the way it's performing great. Like, was there even any doubt it wouldn't? It's slick as hell. Let's see if I can get over that pimple. It's slick as hell. It has plenty of cushion. I mean, what more do you need? Top notch. Is it like my new favorite soap base? No, I don't think it is. Obviously, the longer I have with it, the more I'll get to know it, and maybe in time it will be. But as of like these first and second impressions, no, I don't think it will be. And I'm not going to tell you what is, because I don't think that shit's important. But I will tell you this stuff's phenomenal, and for the price, compared to its competitors, it has the same hype, better price. Especially if you jump in the club, which I fully endorse the club if you buy multiple purchases a year. Because if you don't intend on buying multiple purchases, you're not going to get your money's worth. If you just buy one set a year, you're not going to get your money's worth. But if you intend to buy multiple purchases, you're going to get your money's worth in spades. The club VIP membership is a great deal. And anybody that is going to get a bunch of releases a year, I fully recommend it. It's good stuff. So, anyhow, soap performed fucking great. The brush and bowl from Lancaster are always a pleasure to use. Some of my favorite gear in my den. And then the timeless razor, still as good as it was when it first came out. Like I said, I don't see them as often as I used to. I mean, there's more options now, so obviously there's more variety, and maybe just because of that, that's why you don't see it as often. But timeless, still great razor. Let me just grab my towel here. I hope you guys had a chance to check out my Instagram live last night with me and Corey from Shaving with Chief on YouTube and on Instagram. And I, of course, am DK Damn Fine Shave on YouTube and on Instagram. And last night we did a fucking hilarious Instagram live where the Chief dressed up and we had a dual straight razor shave, and it's still on IGTV, so Instagram TV. I posted it on there. I don't know what happened with the video quality. I have a Samsung Note 10, and I have like decent internet for where I live. I have no idea what happened with that video quality. It went all grainy. I don't know. I honestly don't know what happened. But, man, we had a good time with the chat, and just me and Corey going back and forth, talking shit, sharing some good beers, and getting in a nice shave. So, if you guys have any interest at all in checking that out, definitely, it's still up on my Instagram, which is always linked in the description of all my YouTube videos, at DK Damn Fine Shave. I don't really push it because I feel like if people want to see it, you know, if they're interested and can't find it, they'll ask about it. And otherwise, they're not interested. That's just the way I look at it. You'll notice I never push anything on you guys. I just figured if you're interested, you'll ask. So, Peaches Cognac. Great scent. Fantastic new soap base. Probably my new favorite. Fucking top notch. Can't be beat. You know, in a league of its own label. The new top label base. I mean, this base is gonna be hard to beat. That label base. That's just fantastic label. Keep that shit up, Peter. That's a great label. We're gonna follow with the matching aftershave splash, which is just as badass. And it's kind of nice to see a pink label. I just think the label is done perfectly well. I'm not a fan of pink, but pink works on this label. So, whoo, a little bit too much shakeage there. That original crack kind of shot some out. Let's get this off. And hey, what happened to the childproof caps? What happened to the childproof caps, Peter? The Asian pair and then the black set both had childproof caps, and I thought that was a nice touch. And now they're gone. I don't know. Just a observation there. And so let's get some of this aftershave. Love Peter's aftershaves. I love his soaps and aftershaves because they're normally pretty fucking stout. And let's get a little bit more. Woo. They're normally pretty fucking stout. And I know some people don't like that, but I love that. The more the merrier. Let's get some on the forearms. Alright. Whew. I don't know if you guys noticed, but John sent me a Leather Talk sticker. So, whoop. Thank you very much, John, for sending that along. Fucking badass logo. And it's definitely going to be displayed in the den over on my 14 karat gold Eversharp Schick Injector poster. Alright. We should probably wind down. We're getting to our normal 25-minute mark. So we got the Lancaster bowl. The Lancaster brush. I call this one Conquest because of my Four Horsemen series. And the first horseman arrived on a white horse with a crown and a bow and arrow. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, there's the first horseman, Conquest. And there's that crown. So that's my my first horseman right there. And I have another one coming soon. Anyhow, Kaizen Peaches Cognac. Timeless standard bar with the Polsilver third use. Fantastic razor still. So we'll finish where we started with our beer. Please go check out that Instagram live. It was a blast. And if you haven't checked out Chief, Shaving with Chief, check him out. He will be linked in my Instagram as always. Cheers, fellas and ladies. Pinkies out, motherfuckers.